Welcome to the Resilient Philosopher. This is your host, Leon Dantes. We are living in a time where leadership is lacking the most. And it's lacking not only within the leadership in our government, in our religions, and even in our society, corporations, in every facet of life. It seems like more people are willing to invest effort, time, and devotion and just being cruel. Now, I define myself as spiritualist. I can even go as far as saying agnostic. I do believe in science, not because it requires faith. No. I trust science because science is willing to admit when it's wrong. In science, things are right until proven wrong. In any other form of religion, the truth is never to be questioned. And I don't believe in that. I don't believe that we're not allowed to question things. Everything should be questioned. Everything should have a reason, should have a logic, and therefore should be questioned, should be explained, and should be known to everyone. As I've said before, common sense to me is only common when everyone knows about it. An example of that would be me speaking about psychology to a person who doesn't know anything about psychology. My assumption that it should be common sense goes right out of the window. Unless if they've studied psychology, sociology, or any other study of human behavior, they will not understand my conversation. There's certain parts of it that they might understand, but common sense is only common when everyone involved knows about it. In today's society, it seems that common sense is not lost. It has not been forgotten. It has just simply been hijacked. Why do I say that? Because we're witnessing people calling themselves Christians, calling themselves religious, doing and willing to help out, or not even help out, but promote the hatred towards others. If it helps, and if you are one of those people, and by far have made it to listen to this podcast, I can tell you, I hope you know that every time you say something bad about an illegal immigrant, you're talking about Jesus. That every time you feel joy of knowing that people are being harmed, that people are being sprayed, beat up, thrown in jail for their right to protest, you're doing it to Jesus. That I hope you know that Jesus himself said that there was going to be a false prophet and you are on his side. So to all you, specifically so-called Christian nationalists, hope you know everything that you're rooting for now, everything that you enjoying seeing others go through will go to you as well. Might not happen to you personally, but it will happen to your generation. Why do I say that? Because you are turning not against God, but against humanity. And humanity is God. Humanity is God because God was created by humans. And the God that you proclaim to love so much, to admire so much, and that should be back in schools and they should be back in society because that's why society is the way it is, I say no to that. I say no to that because the moment that we stop being humans and became totalitarian idiots run by idiocracy, we lost the right to say that we love God because God is humanity. And you people have lost a sense of humanity upon this earth. You people that claim that cleansing is needed from the streets because people have forgotten about God, you yourself are the ones who have forgotten about God. You yourself are the ones that deserve everything you are trying to do to other people. And yes, I am upset. I am upset because these men right here have come to learn resilience because of the help of other people, because of people that do not see the same views as me religiously, politically, and scientifically. Because we are a puzzle. A huge puzzle is what humanity is in the world. We are all pieces that come together to form what we call humanity. And we have lost that connection with each other. We have become people that think that our color, our religious beliefs, our political views define who we are as humans. And what defines us what we are as humans is the capability of feeling empathy for one another, for wanting to seek equity for one another, for actually taking initiative to help others. We have lost that. Not only we have lost that, but I have witnesses. I have witnessed personally how in society and more to the point around the city that I live in, people have lost that sense of humanity. Saying thank you, hi, how are you is no longer seen. It's no normal. It's not normal at all. I've seen my coworker who happens to be black say hi to somebody and completely be ignored so that they go up to talk to a white person. We're living in 2025 and it feels like we have gone back to the 1900s. Not only does it feel here in the city that I live in, but it's seen on TV. When you have two different, very different media talking about one subject with two different stories, it should be a sign that they're lying to us. The narrative in today's society is divide. The more divided you are, the more power they have. And for all of you rooting for the lefts to be dismantled, I got news for you. A one party system is called a totalitarian system. A one party system is unconstitutional by the American Constitution. A one party system is an authoritarian system that will turn against everybody that helped them put them there. How do I know? You might ask. Because it's in the history books. Because people like Fidel Castro didn't care about nobody but himself. People like Mussolini didn't care about nobody but himself. People like Hitler did not care about anybody but themselves. People like Stalin did not care about anyone but himself. People like Mao did not care about anyone but himself. And the list goes on of previously known leaders that are proclaimed to be the defender of their country, only to betray even those that helped them get in power. This is why the resilient philosopher, the prism of reality, was written for. To express ideas like this, to question everything, to make you think about the things you think or thought to be true. Because the reality is, we are humans that have been surrounded and nurtured by biases. Biases that can only be broken when we're willing to learn something new. This is why I say every day is a great day to learn something new. By removing the excuses and addressing the reasons, the issues. You want real change? You want real change, you go and seek out the problem. You seek out the problem and you seek for a solution. You don't simply throw a band-aid on it. If you cut your hand, you do not put a band-aid on it. The first thing you do is clean it. The first thing you do is to look at the wound and make an assessment of how bad it is. But in today's society, we're willing not only to cut our arms because our finger is broken, but we're willing to tear apart from the shoulder that same hand. That is nonsense. If we don't wake up to the reality that we must unite as humans beings under one common goal, that humanity, the empathy for humanity should unite us, we are already destroyed. It won't matter if your God comes from heaven to rescue you, you do not deserve to be rescued. And hell or heaven will be here, because the hell that you believe will be the consequences of your actions when you became complicit with the ideologies that now are destroying other people, that will eventually destroy you. Because you're only good until you're bad, then you're rotten. That's the ideology of authoritarians and totalitarian regimes. That you are only good until you're not. And when you're not, you're rotten. And they will get rid of you. I needed to do this. I needed to let it out because it has been bothering me. And I've been keeping this inside for months now. For the last 10 months, I'll be keeping this inside, holding on to it because I had hopes that it could never get that bad. It could never get that bad. But it has. And we have passed the point of no return. You hear about civil war? Civil war is nothing compared to anarchist war. When you are not going to be able to just look around for differences between civilization, but the differences between cliques, between little groups of people. There will be cities that you're not going to be able to get into. There's going to be states that will limit the people that come through it. This country will be completely divided at the rate we're going. Why? Because right now, when you attack a so-called blue city, blue state, you're not attacking just Democrats. You're attacking also Republicans within that area. Because I am a Republican. I am a conservative. And I never thought in my whole entire life of 40 plus years that I would witness what I'm witnessing now. The sense of humanity, the sense of one country under God, one nation under God has gone bye-bye. It has completely disintegrated into what we know now as United States of America under the MAGA ideology. The party that I love, the ideas that I embodied are no longer part of this party. This party is officially gone to ruins. So clap for you and clap all you want. Be who you want to be and do the worst that you can. Because I might not survive this. Every minute that we have alive could be our last minute alive. Therefore, it's not about me. It's not even about you. See, the past justifies the present moment, but the future will judge the present. And when future generations look at today, what was done, and the people that were silent, that became complicit within the situation, will be remembered as traitors, as weak individuals that were more willing to hurt others than sacrifice themselves. If that is what you call leadership, if that is what you call leadership, then you, my friend, are wrong. Leadership is to take initiative to help others. Leadership is to take initiative to make a difference. Leadership is what Jesus Christ himself did and died for. So if you proclaim to be a Christian, to follow Jesus Christ, but are willing to kill others and are willing to hurt others, you're not a Christian. You're not a follower of Jesus Christ. You're a follower of the false prophets. You're an antichrist, and you will pay for using his name in vain to commit horrendous crimes to humanity. These crimes to humanity are not written in any law books, are not written in heaven or hell, are written by the standards that we hold each other as individuals. And what you're doing right now, or what you're allowing to do, what you're not speaking against, will happen to you or your family as well. Because when they have 30,000 new troops and no longer are needed, they're not going to send them home. They're going to become part of the power of the government. And guess what? Those 30,000 troops, those 30,000 ICE agents, Homeland Security, whatever you want to call it, will come after you. When the so-called enemy from within is destroyed, the question becomes, why do you need guns? It's all safe now. And they're going to turn against you. Because again, you're only good until you're not. And when you're not, you become rotten. And everything that is rotten is destroyed and thrown in the trash. This episode is to let go of this anger, is to let go of the situation. I've spoken my truth and I support my country. I love the United States of America because this is my home. This is a home of my kids. This is where my mother is buried. This is my country. And I do not blame my country for for the things that men have done. And even though I think we're in the point of no return, I still hold hopes that we will find a way to move forward. And I don't think it's anymore the left or the right. I think it is time for us to find a new home. Let the extreme left and the extreme right have their own little room. We, the independent, we, the people, the majority, the 86 million Americans that decided not to vote, we are the majority. And how we can make a difference is by electing new party of new officials that are not complicit on the stuff that these two parties have done. Because neither party has fixed immigration. Neither party has fixed taxation. Neither party has ever cared about you, the American person, the American citizen, the American dreamer that worked their whole entire life to only be seen gone now. Because now you can barely afford to buy anything anymore. And it's only going to get more expensive. So I hope you're prepared. Right now, we have set a GoFundMe account to help cover the cost of running the podcast and the website. This GoFundMe account will not give any money for personal use. After the goal is reached, any money given more than that will go towards the education of the children of the people that work in the show and the website. I have a full-time job, so that's my family. And we do this because somebody needs to speak the truth, needs to speak the truth that we hold and we're willing to share with others. If you feel like you can donate, that's great. If you can't, the best other way to help us will be by sharing this podcast and our articles from the website with your friends and family. The other way that you can help us is by leaving us your feedback, letting us know what you think of the show, what you think of the website, and how we can improve. And if you truly want to help us, stand up against the corruption, and the opportunists who are willing to destroy the American Constitution and the American dream. That we are all born free to a constitutional republic for the people and by the people, and not for parties or factions. Because even Madison, even George Washington knew that the moment that our politicians became a party, a faction, they would no longer be serving the people, but they would be serving their own self interest. So, to you, the resilient philosopher, the one that is willing to come every week to listen to a new episode, I say thank you. Your words, even though not heard by me, even though not written, not read by me, inspire me because I'm constantly looking at the analytics and it tells me there's not many, but not many are needed to make a difference. Only a few individuals will truly have the courage to stand up for what's right. And to those are the ones that we call the resilient philosopher. Until next week, stay strong, be vigilant, and always stand up for yourself by showing up every single time and taking initiative and helping others. Our books are available still through Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. You can get The Resilient Philosopher, The Prism of Reality, Leadership Lessons from the Edge of Mental Health, The Resilient Mind, Volume 1, Mastering the Self, The Resilient Mind, Volume 2. All three books are available on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles, also and Apple Books. Now, if you want a hardcover or a paperback of The Resilient Philosopher and The Resilient Mind series, Volume 1 and 2, you can find them at Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. That's another way that you can help us is by buying the books. But just because I know the times are rough, The Resilient Philosopher, The Prism of Reality is actually available to download for free on our website, visionleon.com. That is visionleon.com. Until next week, this is DeLeon Dantes. Stay strong, stay safe, be vigilant, and show up for yourself.